Good day, everyone. Allow me to share the devotion entitled Profitable Ministry. The Bible tells us in First Timothy chapter 4, verse 6, if thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good ministers of Jesus Christ, nourished up in the words of faith and of good doctrine whereunto thou hast attained. Praise God that He saved us, and not only that, He put us into the ministry. That's why it is a privilege to serve God, and we are serving God in the ministry that God entrusted to His church. Okay, in First Timothy chapter 4, Paul writes to Timothy, his spiritual son, with instruction on how to have a profitable and effective ministry in the church where God put us. I believe you and I that are listening today, we are thankful to the Lord that God has given us the ministry. Okay, and we are expected by Him as He enabled us by His grace to be profitable and effective in the ministry He has given us. Now, ministry, we know that is all about people. It is all serving people as a way of serving God. The Bible tells us about these two greatest commandments, which is first to love God, and the second is to love others. We could never say that we love God, then we can if we don't love people. So if you say you love God, then you must develop a heart to love people. This is the whole idea of ministry. We need to understand this so that we can be profitable in our ministry. Ministry is and must be the outward manifestation of our faith and love to God. It's all about serving other people as Christ served us, reflecting His heart, compassion, and truth to others through us, His church. Ministry is the work given by God to His church. It is reaching the unsaved and lost people with the gospel, and it is helping fellow believers grow up in the faith of the Lord. And this is the whole idea of the Great Commission, missions. That's why we are giving, going, and sending for missions. Okay, and every believer we know that of Jesus Christ is called to the ministry. Some are in full-time and others are in part-time service. But whether we are full-time or part-time, we must understand that all believers are called to be faithful service as to the Lord and not unto men. Colossians 3:23 says, and whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. Now, if you do profitable ministry, surely it will bring growth in you, to your fellow Christians, to your church, and ultimately it brings glory to God. Now, let me share to you 7 requirements for a profitable ministry. Quickly, number 1, you need to have sound doctrine. Okay, you can see that in verse 6 to 7. We know that, a profitable ministry must be grounded in sound doctrine. Sound doctrine means teaching that aligns with the truth of God's Word, the Bible, leading to healthy faith and godly living. We can see there how Paul warns Timothy against false teaching and encouraged him to remind the church to stay true to the doctrine of the Bible, which leads to godliness. So you need to have sound doctrine. Number 2, there must be a commitment to live a godly life. Godly living, spiritual discipline is essential. Spiritual discipline is done by being consistent in prayer and reading the Bible day and night. Okay, pray without ceasing. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt what? Meditate day and night. Also, Paul advises Timothy to exercise himself rather unto godliness. So, profitable ministry requires leaders or spiritual leaders who live and exercise, committed to live a godly lifestyle as an example for others to follow. Number 3, okay, there must be diligent in service. Timothy urged to work hard for the gospel, laboring for the salvation of lost souls, and build up the faith of the believers in the church. A profitable ministry involves preaching the truth and laboring to bring the unsaved to salvation in Christ and believers to spiritual growth. And it needs diligent in this kind of service. There is what we call labor. We are laboring together. Number 4, we are to set an example of godliness, an example of diligent service. We can see there in verse number 12 that Timothy is encouraged to be an example to believers in his what? Words, conduct, love, spirit, faith, and purity. Spiritual leaders like pastors, teachers, parents should live out what they teach, showing others how to follow Christ. Ministry thrives or grow when leaders, spiritual leaders, exemplify Christ-like behavior, inspiring others to do the same. Number five, okay, how to have a profitable ministry. Okay, one must have this proper use of his or her spiritual gifts. Every believers are blessed by God with spiritual gift at least once. One, others are two, others are three. And we can see here that a profitable ministry involves using the spiritual gifts God has given him, like teaching, preaching, administration, or for the purpose of edifying the church. Ministry becomes more effective when spiritual leaders, when Christians fully embrace their God-given abilities and calling. Number six, second to the last, there must be a continual spiritual growth. Spiritual growth. Commit. We are to commit our life, or we are to commit to have this continual spiritual growth. Paul instructs Timothy to meditate on these things and give himself fully or wholly to them, that so that his growth will be evident to all. A profitable ministry should be characterized by visible spiritual growth. As you desire to have growth in your ministry, it will bring also growth to one's minister, or to one's servant. Minister or servant of God should continually improve their understanding, their teaching, and their living out their faith from God and for God. And number seven and last, there is what we call continual care. Timothy is advised to watch his life and doctrine closely. We must care on we must care on how we conduct ourselves before people, and how we must care on how we must deal with people. We can never be a profitable minister, if we don't know how to care for the things of God and how to care for his people. Care and compassion are essential, you know, uh, things to be a profitable ministers of Christ. Actually, when you do the first six, you make protection to your faith and show care for the growth of the church. Profitable ministry emphasizes the importance of continual care for others in both spiritual and practical ways, having the eternal impact, helping both the ministers and the God's people remain faithful in the faith of the word. Conclusion: a profitable ministry is one that faithfully adheres to sound doctrine, models godliness, works diligently for the gospel, uses spiritual gifts, shows visible growth, and persevere in both personal conduct and teaching. And I pray that through these principles that we've learned, seven principles, seven requirements on how to have profitable ministry, and it will help us to bear fruit for God's glory. Heavenly Father, thank you for the devotion we have on how to have profitable ministry. May you bless the one who hear this devotion, but let us, Lord, be doers, not just hearers of thy word, and help us to apply this truth. In Jesus Christ, may I pray. Amen. God bless us all, and have a good day.